This is Harm City Daily, your realest source for all the DMV's craziest and most violent local news stories. Thanks for tuning in. The murder rate in Baltimore, Maryland is twice that of even the deadliest city in Mexico.
Sheesh.
In 2019, the city hit a 25-year high, with 58 murders for every 100,000 residents. Baltimore is the deadliest large city in the U.S. by a wide margin. However,
Unless we're literally rioting, like in 2015 when they had to bring in the National Guard.
the media largely ignores us. They paint Chicago to be the most dangerous city. Maybe that's because Chicago has roughly 4 times our population and they don't understand per capita. I guess they also do have Chicago drill rap piping it up. But the reality is, even in 2016 when Chicago had an astoundingly bloody year with 762 homicides, the murder rate was still only half of Baltimore's. As of last year, Chicago's murder rate has fallen to a quarter of Baltimore's. None of the largest 50 American cities approaches Baltimore's murder rate.
It's not even close.
It rivals third world countries that are also plagued by gang wars, corrupt politicians, and outmatched law enforcement. For instance, Guatemala and El Salvador, while significantly less than Baltimore's 58, posted murder rates of 21.5 and 36 per 100,000 residents, Honduras being the closest, posting 41.2. However, these countries have all cut their murder totals in half over the past 5 years. In contrast, Baltimore's murder total has climbed 65%. Everyone is on lockdown right now due to the COVID-19 declared state of emergency, and so far this year, there have still been 89 homicides. Only 2 less than this time last year when there was no lockdown.
Wow.
There have been 177 non-fatal shootings. Since March 15th, there have been 84 robbery suspects arrested, 124 gun arrests, 19 murder suspects
I'm
arrested,
innocent. Yo, call
and
Warren Brown.
165 seized illegal firearms. Former Baltimore Police Deputy Commissioner Jason Johnson says right now more arrests are actually being made because so many people are stuck on lockdown. He says it's easier to pick out suspicious or criminal behavior since you don't have as many people in the streets. You also don't have as many calls for service that keep police busy. Although Johnson went on to say he would caution anyone to not view this as a trend. Not only are we going to return to more or less business as usual, but we're going to return to an economy that sustained serious damage. There are going to be real challenges to employment. Plus, the release of all these nonviolent inmates as a COVID-19 precautionary measure, while offering them no resources,
Great idea.
such as job placement, housing, or social services, we're likely just setting them back up for failure. Outside resources don't exist right now, so anybody in the re-entry community are not working. Those opportunities are not available. Johnson says all these things represent a mixture that will absolutely present more challenge to law enforcement in the future and not less.